Hello everyone, I'm Isla from Dual Core Studio, and today's stream will be a bit different, and future streams, basically almost every day or every second day or so I'll try to stream. So I thought something different could be a great thing for our streams, so I decided to stream my animations for one of my projects I'm doing. Well, it's called Phantasy RPG. It's an online multiplayer game. If you haven't heard of it yet, you can check the short description in the video description about the game. You also have a link to it, so I suggest you take a look, try it out. It's a really cool game, to be honest. It's got a great story. It has lots of things to do. It's a retro style, and one of the things is that they are currently working on updates almost daily. Basically, we are constantly doing something to update the game, and one of the things is new graphics, new animations, which I'm doing right now. So basically, there are around 200 characters, if I'm not mistaken, designs basically, and I need to create those designs and animate them like basic attacks. So right now I'll show you just a couple of them which I did yesterday, and then I'll be going to more animations on this stream. So first let's do humans. I think that's kind of the easiest one. You can see the animation over here, not sure how well it's shown. Yeah, it's okay. So basically just attack animations, nothing else. Human female is a bit different. We have Eldron female, which is basically something like an elf, from what I gathered. And the last one should be Eldron male. Okay, so those are the animations I did yesterday. It took me around 2 hours to make each of those, so basically 2 hours per animation is something that, well, it's something that it's my tempo, so to speak, but at the same time it's something that I need to keep track of because of the time limits and few deadlines. Okay, so without further ado, let's do some new stuff. And right now I'm looking at which one should be the next. So these are just the basic designs, and I'm thinking about going on Rhizards, which are basically lizards. Just ignore this part. And I'm gonna do this from the start to finish, so you guys can see actually how the process of animating something looks. I'm gonna show you two different examples of it actually, and you can pick and choose to learn whichever suits you the best, or even if you try to find like a third way or something. Now this of course is regarding specifically pixel art, if you ask me, pixel edit, so to speak. And let me just show you quickly. So you have human male here and his animation. However, before I did his animation, I did what I call skeleton, which is basically yeah, this part of, anyways, so which is basically just the outlines and the shapes and how they need to come. So you can see these shapes how they are. Hello Spyball, welcome. So basically you can see that I made shapes. Now first of all I did the design, so you can see it in the top left corner. Then on top of that design I drew just some solid colors to get the shapes right. After that I made so you can see on each of those frames he has like one arm, back arm, the body, one leg, other leg, and this is a remnant, if I'm not mistaken, this color from the special effects, since I did some blur effect on the legs as well. I later changed it, but anyways. So you have these outlines, and then I just added each of those body parts separately. So I just kept adding them on. So from what you can see, and then I remove the skeleton, right? Okay, so that's one of the ways you can do animation in pixel art. So just to recap really quick, you do the design, then draw solid colors over it, animate those solid colors to get the animation as perfect as possible, because this way you are focusing on the movement itself instead of on details. And then once you have that finished, you can just add each body part separately until you have everything worked out. So that's one way of doing it, and I do this in cases where I have to be careful of the details. For in this example, his muscles, they have I believe 5 shades of the skin tone, and that's why I had to be a bit careful, especially for the anatomy of the muscles, which I'm not particularly good at. But anyways, that's one of the ways. So here's gonna be another one, the different style, which you skip the part of building a skeleton and you just do the animation itself. Now as you can see, let me just show you. In this case, you just go and animate everything like from the start. I do this for more simple animations, or where the body doesn't have as much details. As you can see, this design is pretty simple. It has few colors, few shades of it, but the shape itself is quite simple, and that's why it made it so easy to just go and animate it. So each of these 4 animations took, like I said, 2 hours. So today I'm gonna do another animation for the Rhizard race, and let's do that right away. So all of these character designs are from the game Phantasy RPG. Well, actually they will be the designs and animations in that game. You can see the game in video description, check it out. It's an online multiplayer game. So yeah, first things first, I need to prepare my canvas for work basically. And one of the things is you and everyone else, first you need to decide what is the canvas size and the size for each tile, basically for each sprite. And in my case it's 75 times 75. So I'm just gonna resize everything to that size, and after that I'm gonna take these colors and fill them in. Okay. And the reason why I have a light background and dark background is because of different environments. So the environment can be, in the game you have multiple battle backgrounds, like 3 of them, and each of them is a bit different. So I need to know how they look in light backgrounds and dark backgrounds. So it's not the same. Let's, I don't know, take the human male for example, just real quick. So you can see his animation in the dark background, but it looks different on the light background. You can see that his effect of punch effect is a bit harder to see than in the dark one, which is logical because of the contrast, but that's exactly why I'm doing everything in 2 color backgrounds. Okay, so once this is finished, I need to decide how many frames of animation I want to make, and I'll make 8 of them since that's something like a standard to me, more or less. So here I can pick and choose how many frames I want and which frame should it start on this tile set. Okay. So this specific design has, well, two, for now he has two body parts, the tail and the rest of the body, which I'm gonna correct in just a few moments. So first I want to position him on, well, on the canvas where I want him to have more space for attacks, since he uses a spear and he will thrust forward. I need more space to the left than to the right. Did I place that correctly? Okay, so it's on this one. Again, it's okay. All right, so that's the correct position. So this, well, because of the muscles, I would usually go what I did with the human male. So make the skeleton. Well, I call it skeleton based. Just you remember those solid colors. However, in this case, I will, since the movement itself should be quite simple. So he's holding the spear, right? So like this, he will grab it with the other hand and thrust it forward and come back to this idle position. So that's gonna be the animation. And since there's no body twisting, so to speak, so the human male had his body so like in 3/4 view, then he twisted the body, and that made entire muscles to, well, twist as well. In this case it's gonna be quite more simple than that, more like the elder female. So first thing I want to do is split this character into body parts, and we all have like different approaches, especially in 2D animation. Let me just change the background to black, since his clothes are easier to see that way. Okay, so in 2D animation, you, even for the face, you would have, the face would consist out of like eyes, nose, mouth, ear, hair, maybe even. So the head itself would be one body part, but then inside of it you have multiple body parts as a separate object, which in pixel art right here you don't have to do. It just, you have just the head itself, and that's about it. So I'm gonna rename everything. And I like to call my main body, which will be the torso, either main or the body, or main body, whatever helps you the best. Actually, I might come back to light background. Yeah. Oh, okay, so first I need to chop off the head. I'm gonna create few different layers. And the way you do this in pixel art, you in pixel edit. Hello Irfan, you're not late. I just started out. So first thing I want to take is the head itself. Then you hold Control and press the left click mouse of the button, select the layer you want to put it at, and then release it. Well, left click anywhere else. So now we have the head separated along with the neck. Now sometimes the neck could be animated separately, but it's not needed in this case. So right now we have the head and tail. Usually I would take the legs and completely animate them, each leg separately. If it's a walk cycle or a run cycle, that's completely a must, at least for me. However, in this case, I'm just gonna keep them on the same layer. So just one thing to keep in mind. And I will include this bottom part of the loincloth. I won't be including this top part since the top part is like it's really tightly connected to his waist. However, this bottom part of the loincloth will probably flap around or move around a little bit when he takes a step forward. So anyways, so those are his legs. As you can now, I chopped off part of his fingers. That's my mistake. I'm gonna put them back. Okay. Again, you should always name your layers, otherwise you'll just completely forget about it, and you'll go around and search what is the each layer for. Now the arms, I will take the arms separately, so I won't be doing the same thing as for the legs. I will take each arm and do it on a separate layer, and it's up to you where you wanna cut your arm out. So you can either do it like here at the shoulder, which I usually do, because well, the movement of the arm starts here, so I would like to have everything like in blocks. In 2D animation, vector animation, if you're doing like a puppet, you would have on each and is it a wrist or something called, I don't know. So basically on each knuckle. So well, I'm bad at English, so don't mind me. So basically we would have here, here and here. You would have each part separate, so you can well move those parts of the arm separately. Anyways, enough babbling. So I'm gonna cut this one out, and I'm gonna call this front arm, even though this one is the front for his direction in which he's looking at. When I said front arm, I'm thinking about the arm that is closest to me, not the direction in which he's looking at, because in animation he can turn around, he can do backflips and spins around and whatnot, and in that case it can be a bit confusing. So just the one that is closest to me in the idle position I call front. I will create the back arm as well, and that's gonna be this entire arm along with the weapon. So the weapon itself will be connected to this arm. Okay, so right now we have everything we need. We have the head, we have the legs, front arm, back arm, and the body along with the tail. Now you should be a bit careful how you place those how you place those things, because if I place head, for let's say head behind the body, and if I move the head a little bit, it's gonna get hidden down, which isn't correct. So the placement of each layer, each body part is important. However, it also depends on each situation. So I remember, if I'm not mistaken, here at Adler female, at her attack, you can see that my back arm is in front of the head, because when she raises her weapon, it blocks out a little bit of her of her face, right? So that's why it's in front. However, on these other guys, so you can see that the back arm is behind the head. So it all depends on what you actually need, right? So let's start animating. I won't be doing skeleton blocks for like I did for the human. Quick recap again, since we have few new viewers. So basically I made a skeleton, then just added each body part separately, right? Okay. So I won't have to create the idle position from the start like I did with the Eldron female, so the one with the staff. I can just go ahead and create the animation. However, I just want to think about I have 8 frames to do, and I wish to just count them in my head to to figure out what I wish. Okay, so the end frame should obviously be the same as the first frame, or at least as close as possible. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Actually, it should be a bit different when he comes back into his pose, but I'll keep it like that for now. Also, I'm gonna animate the tail the last, since he's gonna wiggle a little bit, but it's not as important as the rest of the body. Okay, so he's holding his spear in one hand. If I spend 2 frames on him getting the spear, 3 frames for attacking for the thrust, so that's 5 frames, and then I'll have 6th, 7th, and well, actually I have 2 frames left for his body to return to basic position. So I might have to go with even 10 frames. I'm not sure, but not sure yet, but let's go with it. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna completely ignore the tail for now. It's the easiest part to do if I do it the last. Okay, so first I'll take the back arm, and since the back arm is on top of the main body but behind the legs, you can see it will be hidden. So basically I just need to take the legs and put them behind those back arms. Whoops. Why? Because the weapon should be in front of him. And see this? In this case it is behind the head, the weapon. However, it's not important since weapon won't be going across his face, so I don't have to worry about that for now. So now I'm just placing what you would in normal animation, what you would call keyframes. So let's do that. Yeah, okay. Alright, so on the 3rd frame it's gonna be completely. Again, I do believe that the music is playing in the background. If it's not loud enough, just say so. I'm not listening to any music because I find it distracting if I try to do animation. So yeah. So this frame will definitely be the keyframe. However, I just want to take this part. Okay. So no one holds the spear completely like this when it's when he prepares for attack. So it's his arms should be bent a little bit before he tries to attack. Okay. Again, everything looks choppy right now, but trust me, it will look great once we finish it. That's why in-betweens are used. Okay, so I'll take this same part, however I will add another layer on top of all of these, and I'll call it effect, which is like basically special effects, so to speak. I take completely white color, take the position of the last frame and the current one for these back arms, so you can see we have this little arc. So from this part to this part over here. So I'm gonna make a blur effect, which is used like for fast movements. So from his idle position he will quickly grab it and attack. So I need to create that part. Again, just looking at the position. And it should become thinner as it goes towards the source of that part. Now I could take this same color used for the highlights of the spear, and yeah, okay, so without, I'm gonna fix the arm later. I just wanna get the weapon movement ready for attacks. So this is the first frame. I wanna add this same effect. Oh no, did I just, yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this part and add it as an effect. I'll take this back arm and add it like so. Okay, well, way better. So the next one is that same effect, but since, well, basically since it's since the movement is finished, you want to create this to be a bit smaller and towards the end. So I'm gonna erase most of it. And since the movement of the spear should go towards the back on the next frame, and it will, I wanna indicate with this same effect that it's going there. So that's why I need a curvature, a curve which will indicate that movement, and that's why I created it like this. So I might even go a bit more extreme. Okay, so onto the back arm, I want to take this part and I'll take this one. As you can see, it's all, he's already pulling it back. Now I'll just remove the front arm so we don't get confused by it. Okay, so now I'm just, so the next thing I wish to do right now is fix the position of the arm, because right now it's look just blah. Okay. Okay, so even though it might look like his arm is a lot bulkier than on this frame, if you count the pixels, it's 4 of them. Actually 5 of them, sorry. So even here it's only 4 pixels, but it might seem because of this 1 pixel which is for his torso basically, right? Okay, so this one is okay. So I'm gonna take this back arm completely back and just redo this entire frame real quick. Now, as you noticed, his arm is going on top of his torso. So I'm just gonna, okay, right. Some time to fix the front arm. Okay. Yeah. So the front arm basically just grabs the spear on the end side of it, basically. So it's quite simple. So I should just take it's on front arm. However, you won't be able to see his claw on this side since he's gonna grab it. The thumb is gonna be, since now it's visible, but once he grabs it, the thumb you won't be able to see it. That's why I had to erase this this part. Okay. So we have the movement for his arms, correct, so that's finished along with the weapon. That's for preparation for attack. The next one should be the head. So basically when he goes, he might squinch his head a little bit down, so let's do that. So like he's preparing for attack and then he's gonna go in the front. Alrighty then, so like I said, it takes around 2 hours to make animation like this, so we have a lot of things to make actually. So let's see. Okay, so even his body. Let's see his main body. Oh, that's his main body. All right. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is just moving the muscles just a little bit, not too much. Okay, so I need this to be on the front arm. Okay. And now what you could also do at this point, but I won't do it, well, at least not for now, maybe not even later, is also prepare his legs for attack. So if it was a human, I would probably do that. So if he's standing completely straight with his legs, if he prepares to attack, he would bend his knees a little bit so he can have more reach while attacking. Now, since this is a Rhizard special race in the Phantasy RPG, you can see the design of his legs. So basically his legs are already pretty much at position where he can attack, where he can extend them. so I won't be doing those just yet. So I could just do the tail right now, since, well, he does have a tail. And I make so his tail curls up a little bit. Okay, so I wish to see more movement on this part of the tail. So something like this. Okay. This should do just fine. Now I could, the tip of his tail, I could also animate that a little bit, but I'm just gonna see if that will actually work out. Mainly because his tail cannot be seen actually from this spear. So well, nonetheless I'll go around. So I can just hide this part and so I might take this highlight and put it just in different place. Okay. So this is fine. So the first 3 frames are finished. The first one is idle. The second and third one are preparation for the attack. The fourth one is gonna be the same actually, like this one, but without the special effect. So like he's gonna grab it, wait just a moment, and then he's gonna pierce through it. I'm just looking at chat real quick if anyone asks anything so I can answer. Oh yeah, and streams like this will happen quite often, so not only am I doing animations right now, I will be doing backgrounds, so battle backgrounds for the game. For the Fantasy RPG game, okay? Okay, so you can see how it looks for now. He can even wait 2 extra frames for what he wants to do, and that's an attack. So this would be anticipation, which is one of the principles of animation. You know, like he's gonna wait and then attack. Now you don't always need anticipation. For quick sudden attacks you don't want anticipation, especially in this example, I believe. So you can see this human just go ahead and attacks. He doesn't. I mean, this is his basic position, which you can see over here, and he doesn't go back, pull his arm, and then attack. He just goes from this position straight into the attack. So it really depends on what you want to achieve. Since this guy has a weapon, I decided he might get to stand by and then attack. Okay, so the next comes the attack itself. Yeah, I will need some extra frames, so I'm gonna resize the canvas by 2 extra frames. I will paint the background, increase the frame for animation, length to 10. And yeah, okay, so I will just move this on. Now the only thing that I'm bothered with pixel edit is when I animate, I have to move each layer separately, which can be kinda annoying. So I'm thinking about going to a sprite with animation, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the attack is next. You can always just copy paste his last position, his last frames, and go from there. So he grabbed it and now he needs to thrust forward. And for the length of it, I wish to take the back arm, which consists of my weapon. And now I won't take the entirety. I don't want to move the shoulder too much. So I'm just gonna take the arm that will come together. 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 3 pixels. Now this is just slight movement, but this is for now. So we have, let me just, so 3 pixels. Now when he moves forward, he will also take a step forward with his legs. So we need to do that as well. And I am mainly concerned with the position of this leg. I'll come back to the loincloth later. Right now I just wanna make the position of the leg final to see where it will go. Okay. Okay, so I think this position will be quite enough. So 4 pixels for the leg. Okay, so the next, of course I need to move the entire body. I'm gonna hide the head for now. Actually, might as well move it. And then I'm gonna take the body. Now there are 2 ways. Yeah, a sprite, right? A sprite is awesome because he has the onion skin, and it's the way it works. Animation there is basically the same as like in Adobe Flash. So you have frames, keyframes in the timeline, which is a lot easier than pixel edit. Pixel edit is, I would say, more for like styling, but for animation I would say sprite is better. I'm thinking about creating tutorials for both of these. So 2 ways you can go about this attack. So his entire body can either be completely straight when he thrusts, which is kinda unnatural. So I'm gonna lean his body forward a little bit, which will have the illusion of the movement. Okay, so I'm gonna take his body, move it just 2 pixels, and then I'm gonna rotate part of the body. Whoa. So I'm gonna leave it like this for now. I wanna take his head and connect it to the body. Okay. Now you can see he makes a huge step forward, but the spear doesn't follow as much. So I'm gonna take this part. And see how far I can go. Okay, I think this length should be great. So I'll just erase the parts I don't need. The front arm. Now this frame looks a bit messy when it comes to shading, which I'm gonna fix later. But the movement is what's important, so I'm gonna hide the body for now. So you can see his muscles need to change based on position where he is. And in pixel art it's all about shapes, so you don't have to worry about details, just get the shading right and it's all fine. Now again, the anatomy isn't my strong side, it really isn't, so if I messed something up, sorry about it. Okay, let's keep on going. So yeah, right, so the body. Okay, I want his back leg to move one frame to the left. So you can see now he steps forward a little bit. When he steps, his back leg needs to, well, it's actually his back leg that thrusts forward with the energy. So man, I'm talking quite a lot on this stream, so just 1 second. A bit of water. All right. Continuing on. So we have his arm. Now I'm just gonna move this arm 1 pixel to the left to see how it looks. Yeah, I'm gonna move to the left to increase the effect. Now this isn't necessarily realistic, but sometimes what makes the animation great isn't realism, but something that it's more pronounced, exaggerated. So basically exaggeration is one of the things in animation you should be doing. So let's see, what the hell is this? Oh, it's part of the body, right? Okay, so right now when they are disconnected like this, I just like to take one solid color and just connect the shoulder to the arm. Until I get the shape right. Then after I get the shape right, I can go ahead and color it in. Again, since his arm is quite extended, he cannot hold he can't hold the spear completely like this, because when he extends it, it bends a little bit, so that's why I erased this part of the fist. Alright, so again, I'm not done animating. You can see this. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of stuff to do just yet, so I would say we are about halfway through. So you see these little spikes on the shoulders. I need to draw those in. So on this one. Okay. Now, even if the position isn't completely like 100% correct, it's not really important as long as you get it at least decently all right. Okay, so I got this basic part. The next thing should be shading in some of his parts. So okay, again, I on this frame the most complicated one will definitely be the body layer, since there's most distortion on that layer than any other. Okay, so before that I need to finish the legs. Okay. So the animation is slowly but surely coming along. Now I will create just one more. However, the rest of it I want it to be the loincloth. The loincloth actually. That's a bit too much. Again, I will be animating this loincloth because when he goes a bit to the front, I want the loincloth to follow a little bit. Now this is why now I didn't, I mean, if you think about clothes, like it shouldn't go it shouldn't follow completely the movement of the leg in this case, since it's not tight clothes. Since it's not tight, it should flip around a little bit. So if you make sudden movement for, let me just, long live the Google Translate. Airy clothes. Well, anyways. Airy. airy clothes. Not sure why is that color. Well, anyways, like relaxed clothes which you have more space to move with it, like a dress or something like that. You know, if you make sudden movement, the part of the dress, for example, will, if this is the dress and you suddenly move, you're gonna pull it afterwards. So that's also one of the principles of animation, but I'm not sure how else I could explain it. So yeah, so I want to create that pull on this side as well. Okay. And then on the next frame it will go forward and flip a little bit. Okay, so this frame is oh well, it's not finished. I want his tail to go backwards when he thrusts forward, so let's do that. So first I want his tail to, oh, it's tail. Okay, so something along these lines. Of course I need to shade it in a bit better. It's too choppy. And I want to put it 1 pixel towards the top. Okay. That's right, Irfan. That's right. Force. Sometimes I totally block out when it comes to words and English. So mostly when I blab around too much. It's been yeah, a long day. So moving on. Thank you again. So time to finish up with the main body. So I want the back arm to have at least a bit of shading over here. Alright, time to add some effects. Now since this is a thrusting motion, it should be, well, pretty much something like this. So of course I won't make such wicked, it's not like a lance or a rocket, but you kind of get to the point. Now something changed. So oh, it's this part. Now, even though this movement is, well, it's okay, I wish to add a bit more oomph to it. So let's do that. So like I said, since this is a thrusting, I now again, there are plenty of ways you can do this. This isn't a rule. It's all how you want to make them. Go outside the weapon a little bit. Now this is how I did. Go outside the weapon a little bit. It all depends how in which resolution I'm working on, but in this case 2 to 3 should be just fine. And then you just go outside the weapon. Since this is a thrusting motion, you want to increase the number of these pixels roughly either by 50% or by doubling it when you go out. So something like this should be okay. Now if you just make god damn it. I made the same mistake like the last time. Again, I'm just gonna quickly redo everything. Okay, so if I just create like this block, it looks like an, I don't know, a rocket engine explosion, something that this shouldn't be. So you need to erase some of these parts to indicate how from where the weapon is coming from, basically like the resistance to the air, so to speak. So it's, you can imagine that this weapon is cutting through the air, and that's why you have this line over here. Again, plenty of ways you can do this. So let me just add a bit more of these. Again, now it doesn't look anything special yet, but on the second and third frame, it's where this attack will actually start looking like an attack. I might even go and decrease this size. Now this isn't the only way. Like I said, I took the highlight color of this metal part of the spear and did that. You don't have to do that. So for example, I took in this animation, this attack animation, I took the color again from the highlight of the weapon and did that. If you take, I don't know, this one for example, you can see I took completely white color. So it's up to you, just go ahead and experiment. Let's see, Remuino, something like that. Sorry if I butchered your name. Hello and welcome, first of all. Now, which program are you using? I use Photoshop. Yeah, like Irfan said, I'm using Pixel Edit. Now, I am using Photoshop in my other streams where I make free pixel art for isometric pixel art, isometric view pixel art. You can watch those streams, take a look at them just quickly. So there I use Photoshop. So I want to delete these numbers. They are of no use to me anymore. What you could also do is add a bit of blur. So if I take this effect and just add a bit more to them, you can see again it's important to memorize where the previous position was. Okay. And the last part should be for the legs, like just quick. You can see how his legs move quite a bit fast, so okay. Now this frame is the one that has the most reach, and the next one will be something like a settling frame for the attack. So let's do that next. I'm gonna copy paste this entire frame. The tail should come back a little bit. Now you can see that frame on this tail. You can see that when he reaches completely forward and then settles in one frame, which gives it that impact, that energy. And that's what I want to achieve with this weapon as well. So first I want to take this effect and erase everything except this white part. Now you can see this blur is now gone. I might actually want to add just a little bit of blur here at the front, but I do want to erase part of this effect and move it just one frame to the left. And I want to take this back leg, in this case front leg, but back leg in my mind, and take it same thing which I did for this tail. I wish to take it one frame just to the back. And the weapon, I want the arm to go back just one frame a little bit. The same goes for this front arm. I wish to leave that on the same place. For the head itself, I might wanna see what if I I'm gonna leave it like this. I wanna I'll just go ahead and put one frame here. Okay, so I just need to fix these two frames. Okay, I'm just trying to focus now a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Pixelate seems to be better for pixel sprites and animation. Everyone seems to be using it. I use Photoshop CC 2015 with Unity and Mono Develop tuned on. When I open Photoshop, there goes out memory error. Okay, so pixel edit is better for pixel art than Photoshop, in my opinion, that's for sure. But mostly for tiling. For animation, even for animation, so to speak, overall it's just better tool, because Photoshop isn't a tool created for pixel art. Photoshop is a professional tool made for, well, pretty much anything from photographs to professional digital paintings and stuff like that. While pixel edit as well as a sprite are made specifically for pixel art. So once you have specialization for one thing, in most cases you'll be better at it. So yeah, I would suggest using a pixel edit for pixel art or even a sprite. A sprite is a great tool for animation, and pixel edit is great for tiling, for creating tiles, backgrounds and stuff like that. However, in Photoshop, if you wish to create entire big high resolution pixel art, in those cases I use Photoshop. So yeah. Let's see. The head is moving a bit, but the body no in the last frame. Yeah, no, I know. I still didn't finish this one. There are still few corrections along with the loincloth, etc. Do you know if Pixeled Do you know if Pixeled has image warp? No, I'm not familiar with Pixeled. I can just Google it. No, I don't think so. I mean, it does have. Whoop, wrong one. Well, who cares? It does have classic like resizing, rotation, and stuff like that, but I'm not sure if it has warping. Let's see. No, it doesn't have warp. So, no. Anyways. Okay, so I wish to get his body. There yet. Okay, so I want this front arm to be a bit more visible. Okay, now I want the line. Now next thing I want to do is animate the loincloth. So this part I was talking about. Okay. Add a bit of shadows. Okay, now you can see it goes from the back to the front, and on the next frame it will settle in. So the same thing I did on this frame for the tail and the weapon, I'm gonna do the next one from the loincloth. So it has like a delay, so to speak. By the way, like I said on the beginning, all of these stuff I'm making right now is for Phantasy RPG. So completely I put everything away except on the title, so I'm just gonna update the title for stream. Yeah. Okay, so all of this I'm doing is for the new graphics for fantasyrpg.com. It's an online RPG game. Oh, look, we have a comment. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll get back to that later. So, Fantasy RPG, you can check the short description about that game in the video. It has lots of things to do. It's a retro style game, and they are doing an overhaul of all the graphics. And I wouldn't say in charge, but I have few things that I need to do. So right now I'm just looking at where is my shading for this arm. Where did I put it? What? Oh, goddamn. So I put what should be on back arm, I put in the front arm. Okay, so yeah, much better. So you can already see that slowly but surely everything is coming together. Okay, so the next and the last two frames actually will be going back to the idle pose. So the attack itself is finished. I do need to just fix this part. Actually, I need only the loincloth. I'll hold it. So you can see what I was talking about when it comes to the loincloth. And on the next frame it's gonna go, it will finish settling in on for the idle pose, and we're almost finished. Let's see, just 1 second. The head is going, that pixel where the head is going down, try 1 pixel low on the chest. Let's see. Main, so this one should be it. It's a bit too bouncy. However, I do wanna indicate just a sec. Okay, the shading goes a bit off, so I'm gonna Okay, just okay. That part was bothering me, like the bone shouldn't be there, so here I might where is this? Please don't make the game turn-based combat. Um, it's not actually my game. Fantasy RPG is one of the side projects I'm having. I'm working as their graphic artist, like a freelance stuff, but basically the game is turn-based combat. So if you don't like that, well, that's completely fine. Though there are a bunch of things to do there, so I still recommend trying that out. Okay, so if you're hearing a drill, that's because we have construction work going on at my neighbors, so okay, so first things first. I need to bring. First, I want to bring his legs back together. And the loincloth should go pretty much back where it was. So I just might take this entire piece, copy paste it, and put it over here with just a bit of okay. Alright, so that should be for the legs. Now we need to start getting the body back to its natural position along with the weapon. So now this is why I've put the idle position back on the end, so I can more easily compare these two and see. And see how it should go. Basically I want his tail to go. Okay, so it needs to be just completely straight up. Okay. Alright, so we are starting to get somewhere. Like I said, it takes me around 2 hours to make one animation. It took me 2 hours for all of these actually. For this one, it took me around an hour and a half for this one, to be honest. This one took me around 2 hours. Around two and a half for this one, since it did have two punches. So, and this one took me around hour and a half. So currently we are an hour and a half in for this one. So we still have 30 minutes to finish this one before we're done. Okay, so let's finish this. All right, so first things first, I want his body. To start going in the straight position a little bit. and on the last frame it will go completely to straight position. Okay, so the next one is his front arm, or actually his left arm. So you can obviously see he's like the time frame is quite fast. It needs to have something. So I can do this in two different ways. Man, I'm talking quite a lot. Okay, so I can do this two ways. When his spear goes back into the idle position, I can do the same thing I did over here. Basically create a smear for this quick movement. I can do the same thing for bringing him back, but it's a bit strange. The other thing is to create more frames, extra frames, where basically you would smooth out this, bring the position back up. So I'll try to do something in between those two. Okay. Now I will be coming back to this part over here on those third and second frames, and these ones, it bothers me a little bit. It's a bit strange. Basically, once you finish an entire animation, well, actually when I do it, I do cleanup round where I go over each frame and do corrections, basically final touch-ups, so to speak. Remieno, it's a heck of a lot of time. The walking and the running animations are real pain. Yes, they are. I'm not sure when was the... Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was for some guy on Fiverr. I did some running animation. It took me around 30 minutes to make walk cycle, and around the same time for the run cycle. But then again, that was that was quite easy, since his style was pretty simplistic. But for if I had to do walk cycle for this guy, it would take a lot of time. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna mess around a little bit with the weapon itself. So I need these colors over here, and I wish to bring them up. Okay, that one is finished. That part actually is finished. Now I'll go and do the cleanup round. So basically, I don't think there's a lot of things to do, to be honest. So I don't see anything wrong with the first couple of frames, but where we come to this frame and the next one, so these two are what bothers me the most. Oh, so the problem is the arm isn't moving. So that should be, I believe, these two, yeah. So the back arm isn't moving. Okay, I might go a little bit different with this route. Okay, now the front arm, the shoulder should move a little bit to the front as well. So the shoulder should go in the front. So this one should be unmanned, yeah. Okay. I would say this is pretty much it. So you can make this animation slower to see if everything is okay. You can make it even faster, so but you won't be able to see anything. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is try to mess around a little bit with this effect. No, I'm gonna go back to the old one. I might add just a little bit of that over here. Okay, I think this should be finished. Now I need to take a look how this looks in the dark background, so something like this. Okay. Now this animation can be even better with smoother animation, more frames. I like to the best attack animations I like to make have at least 20 or so frames, so really smooth, but in this case I am limited with time, so 10 frames is the maximum, which this is basically like 8 frames of attack, with idle frames on the first and the last frame, so actually the 8 frames. So yeah, I'm gonna save this. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so this was a nice short stream. So again, there'll be lots of animation videos in the upcoming days, or actually in the upcoming month. I will also be doing background drawings in pixel art in Photoshop. So basically how you can draw a background. It's gonna be in resolution 320 by 160, so 320 pixels is the width, 160 pixels is the height. So those will be the battle backgrounds for the fantasy RPG. Basically when you fight a monster, there are around 30 different areas for the backgrounds to be done, so there's a lot of things to do. I'll pick and choose some of them and stream while doing those, because backgrounds do take a lot of time to make. Around at least 10 hours per background is usually that I do. So once we get to that, I'll probably stream that like either in few short streams, like I don't know, maybe 2-hour streams couple of times until the background is finished, or I might make a marathon stream where I stream like 10 or 12 hours until I finish it. In which case, if I do that, I don't know, what are you guys more interested? Should I do shorter streams, or should I do one long stream for the backgrounds? What are your thoughts? I really wish to see that. Comment in chat please. So also, while we're at it, did any of you find anything helpful on this stream regarding this animation? Remina said short streams. Okay, short streams for now it is. The main issue with short, well, I do like short streams, to be honest. Since most of the time I'm talking, right? So it goes on my voice, but at the same time, the only con to short stream is the time. Short stream is okay. Okay then, it will be short stream. So be sure to follow us actually, Dual Core Studio page on Facebook and Twitter, because I don't know the exact time when I'm gonna do these streams. So today it was, well, it's 10 a.m. in where I live. Not sure how it goes where you are, but sometimes it might be in different hours because of the spare time. I will do my best to keep it in the same time frame, so everyone can watch it, so we can all hang out. But sometimes that might be a problem, so be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, because there I announce when the streams begin, either half an hour or an hour in advance, so you'll know if you can make it to the stream or not. Yeah, let's see. Lol, you end up not changing the pixel down head. Yeah, that's right. I went back and redid it in my cleanup. Since most of animation, there's a lot of going on, there's hardly needed. It's not actually needed. It's something I would do if I had double the amounts of frames, where I could do each body part in more details. But yeah, when the body is straight, its head goes down one pixel. Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that. So you're thinking about this pixel over here. So this one, right? Whoa. So this one, I believe. I think you're talking about this one. I will. Yeah. Yeah, it's this one. However, yeah, that's completely fine. I want that pixel to be there. You meant should I bring the body down? Is that what you were talking about? So if I bring the chest down, let's see. Yeah, I won't be doing that. If I did that, basically these Rhizards actually have a long neck, so like double the length of the humans. So basically his neck is just going down a little bit. Their skeletal structure is different than the humans. So his long neck is just going down a little bit to prepare for attack. So it's kind of hard to describe, but it should be just fine. Okay, so there are other designs to be done. So we have the female counter. Oh my god, if someone did just had an epilepsy attack, I'm sorry. So this is the female version of our Rhizard, not the lizard, but Rhizard. We still have Houselins, which are basically like humanoid hounds towards like werewolves. So this one is the female version, and this one is the male version. I'll be doing those animations like slashing attacks and stuff like that, but not now. Yeah. So she see. Yeah. Yes. She wants attention like any other cat. So that should be it for today. I finished one animation in around hour and a half. So thank you guys for coming. I'm thinking about streaming again, not tomorrow but the day after. So yeah, that's my alarm going on. Okay, so that's about it. Thank you again for coming. I will see you in 2 days time, hopefully, if you come again. Bye.